We're going to have a live commitment now. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for. I think the nation has been waiting for Tausili Akana. He's the four-star edge rusher from the state of Utah, Skyridge High School in Lehigh. He's a player who's actually originally from the state of Hawaii, famously took 8 visits to 8 different schools across 8 different days back in the summer. This past weekend was super busy, was out at Louisville, was at Colorado, then traveled to the islands to make his announcement, and he will be doing it here live with us on the 24/7 Sports Signing Day show. There's been a lot of buzz closer to the finish line on signing day that Texas has been gaining some ground. The crystal balls on 24/7 Sports were mostly on Oklahoma heading into the day. There's a couple that have been put in for the Texas Longhorns. His sister just won a national championship with the Longhorns volleyball team out in Omaha, Nebraska. She flew into the islands on Tuesday night. They met as a family. They slept on it. They met again as a family on Wednesday morning today. And there you look at the top schools for Tausili Akana, one of the top edge rushers in the country, and Andrew, a player that is creeping up on 5-star status.
Yeah, we've talked about it throughout the show all day. Someone we're going to look at after the All-Star games once it's the best of the best on the same fields. Jalen Phillips is my comp for him. Again, he can do a little bit of everything. Smash off the edge, drop back into coverage. We want to see what he looks like after a year or two of eating at that training table, going to a developmental program, because I think his best football is still ahead of him.
Yeah, Tausili Akana, he will be eating right at the next level, and I know he's eating right now out in the state of Hawaii. We're going to bring him on now to reveal his college commitment. Tausili, thank you so much for joining us. Looking dapper. I like the lei. You have a great backdrop there as well. Take us into what this day has been like for you.
It's been a long day, great day, but I'm just excited to make this new move.
Yeah, it's been a long process. You were the most active player that I can remember out west in the ability to take visits, the ability to meet with coaches, and also all the mileage that you were able to track. What did you learn the most about this process and about the schools that you're considering?
I definitely learned, building relationships is important, definitely with the people that you'll be surrounded with 24/7.
Yeah, you obviously are from the state of Hawaii. There's the saying, right, that ohana is a big deal. And I know that your family has been a big part of this process. Take us into what those meetings were like, what the discussions were like within your family, and how big they have been in this process for you as well.
They played a big part of this, a lot of sacrifices throughout the families. So, we sat down yesterday, got to talk for a good, 2 hours, and pretty much just broke everything down, the academics and just the football.
Yeah, it is almost lunchtime there in the state of Hawaii, and I know you're ready to eat. We got to put some pounds on you before you get to college. So Tausili, the stage is yours. Where will you be playing your college football?
I'd just like to thank everyone coming out here, taking their time out of their days, and I'm just excited for this change. And thank you to the coaches, past and present, for filling up my bag with all the arsenals, giving me all the tools that I need, and appreciate all my boys out there sticking with me since day one and pushing me. My family, of course. With that being said, I'm committed to the University of Texas. Hook 'em, baby.
Oh boy. Hook 'em horns for Tausili Akana. He is headed to Texas. He will be playing his college ball in Austin. Tausili, I know this was a difficult decision. It came down to those future SEC programs in Texas and Oklahoma. What pushed the Longhorns over the top?
I definitely say defensive-wise, I love their scheme, how it'd be used. I'll be used out there playing as a jack, being able to play in space, go get the quarterback. Definitely. Also, the defense is kind of like the Skyridge defense, so it's pretty much just learning the new college language. So I'm excited for that.
You were in Austin for the game against Alabama, the one that Texas nearly pulled off an early season shocker. When you thought about that defense, when you thought about what Coach Steve Sarkisian is building, what gives you confidence that this program is headed in that trajectory?
I definitely say with this next class coming in, we're building something special.
When you speak to Arch Manning, have you gotten a chance to connect with him and tell him that you're going to be a Longhorn with him?
No, I haven't told anyone, so.
But when
everyone
you
just found out.
Yeah, but now I'm sure once you get off this call, you can text him, you can call him. What's it going to be like to come in with the player that is regarded as the #1 recruit in this class?
I feel like it's going to be good. You know, I can kind of learn off of him, and he can learn off of me.
Yeah, Tausili Akana headed to Texas to play for the Longhorns. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on your announcement.
Thank you. Thank you, Blair, for having me. You have a good one.
All right, Tausili Akana, 4-star edge rusher from the state of Hawaii, plays his high school football in the state of Utah. A signing day shocker, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you're way more plugged in here than me.
I had a crystal ball on Oklahoma for a few days.
Okay.
Texas made a late charge. We're talking within the last 24 hours. But this is what is happening in modern day recruiting, right? And what better way to really cap off a recruitment that was up and down than to have those two rivals, right, headed to the SEC, both of them. You're not only winning a recruiting battle, but you're also taking a possible commitment from a school that you'll be competing with. I mean, it has a lot of impact on multiple levels.
Couple different ways to unpack this. Number one, that backdrop. That's you were asking me if I wanted to go to the Poly Bowl. The answer is yes.
So
I understand
jealous.
that.
The only nicer thing today has been your Blazers.
Number two, Texas just got a kid from Hawaii. Is that the Arch effect? I mean, yes, I know he played his football in Utah, but he's originally from Hawaii. I mean, we talk about what did Arch Manning do for Texas. Well, now Texas has the #3 recruiting class behind Alabama and Georgia. I think that increased the brand nationally. And for them to go get him, now you're adding him to a potential front seven. Well, not potential because these guys are signed. Anthony Hill, our #1 linebacker, who is awesome in the box and in space. They got Billy Walton, a kid who I think is a developmental project. Colton Bosick, a developmental project, who's still in our top 247. Now you're throwing Akana into that mix. And this is what you need to win in the SEC. It comes down to getting after the quarterback, and they have identified some guys that can do that in a few years. So this is just monster for Steve Sarkisian in Texas as they prepare to transition to the SEC, where they're going to play Alabama, where they're going to play Georgia all the time.
Yeah, Tausili Akana gives them a headliner on the defensive side of the ball. They obviously have a headliner on the offensive side of the ball. When you think about what Texas can accomplish on the recruiting trail moving forward, given the Arch Manning effect, given their roots out west, Steve Sarkisian has been recruiting the West Coast for such a long time. I mean, this just expands and casts a wider net for what they can accomplish and the type of recruit that they can go after.
Well, bust out a map, right? Cedric Baxter goes to school all the way down here, right? And Akana just announced his commitment somewhere in the Pacific over there. I mean, yeah, it's a national brand now, and we'll see what happens here in the 2024 cycle. I don't know how many quarterbacks are going to want to follow Arch Manning after Quinn Ewers is already there, but I would anticipate this time next year we're talking about Texas having a top 10, top 5 class.
Yeah, big time addition.
Man, how excited is the Akana family right now that both of their kids playing together in Texas. I know I'm excited to see them just take over that athletic department. Texas fans very excited. We have one in the control rooms throwing up the hook'em horns. He was very excited about that. How long are Texas fans going to have to wait to see this guy? Is he a day one impact?
Yeah, I do think he's going to be a guy that you have to wait on a little bit, maybe a year, maybe a year and a half. He has to.
Is he enrolling early? That's what I was going to ask.
Well, I don't know if he is. I mean, all of this is just happening so quickly.
I know, I'm putting you on the spot.
But the thing with him, though, is that even if he does enroll early, we mentioned it earlier, he's 225. At the edge, you have to be able to have that muscle mass, the durability to stay on the field. So it's going to take him some time.
I think we talk about the weight, right? Weight's just a number. It's more of getting in a squat rack, right? And building that core where I can, every 90 seconds, smash into, well, it's going to be Big 12 in year one, but an SEC offensive lineman that's going to be trying to pushing me out of the way. So, I think he's going to need some time. Could he get on the field there early in year one as the 6th, 7th, 8th guy in the rotation? Absolutely. But I think the impact will be when they make that transition in 2024. That's when Akana will be making plays in Austin.
So excited to see him on the football field in Austin. We're going to have to wait a little bit until we see him play. But Blair, I want you to continue the discussion going on here. We're bringing in a guest here, Greg Biggins. You know what? We're so happy to have you here on our side of the country, but we know that, you come from us from the West Coast, and so you know everything that's going on there. But your conversation now with Greg Biggins, I'm excited to see what else is going on out west.
Yeah, we're bringing on Greg Biggins now. He's a national recruiting analyst based in Southern California. He's looped in, he's tied in, he's got all the connections out west. He is the legendary Greg Biggins.
Look at that smile.
Greg.
I don't know why I'm smiling. Blair maybe missed my crystal ball prediction for Tausili Akana just now, so I should be frowning right now with Blair grinning away.
Yeah,
Thanks, Blair.
It's tough, Greg, being behind the desk, trying to track down information, trying to be on the show. But your initial reaction of Tausili Akana headed to Texas, this is a player that you're very familiar with as well.
I love the kid. We've been watching him, and obviously you've seen him more than anybody, but we've been watching him for 3 or 4 years. And you guys talk about the frame, and I think the frame is, being from Hawaii, Polynesians never have issues adding weight, right? I mean that in a nice way. He's gonna have plenty of time to put on some good weight, but I mean he's a high-level athlete. Talk about him as a potential edge rusher, but we've seen him at 7-on-7s, just dropping 20, 25 yards in coverage, and the way he closes on the football, his ball skills, he plays with that Hawaiian. I call it a little bit of a Hawaiian edge, a little bit of a mean streak. All those Polynesian Hawaiians, man, I love to see it. They play, they play angry, and I love to see it. So I think he checks off such a cliche. All the boxes, he checks them all off. He's got the length, toughness, athleticism. The weight will come. Natural edge rusher. I see him being a big impact guy for Texas. So I'm excited for him and the family, and I think it's a great fit.
Yeah, he makes a ton of noise, obviously, all the way out in the Pacific, committing to the Longhorns.